Whenever the weather starts to get colder and autumn is coming, I really want to wear a dark lip. Hi everyone, welcome to my green closet. So I love the look of a dark or bold lip. However, I'm also a pretty lazy person and I don't like having to reapply my lipstick or touch it up or having to worry about it all the time. So the solution seems to be a liquid lipstick that dries onto your lip, but up until now I haven't seen any in the green beauty world. So since I'm back in Canada, I was checking out a Canadian green beauty store, the Green Jungle, and they actually carry 2 different brands of liquid lipstick. I really wanted to test it out, but I didn't know which to get, and I couldn't find many reviews or comparisons, so I decided to go against my minimalist tendencies and get one of each so that I could test them out, see if they actually work, and see which one I prefer. So I got the clove+hallow lip velvet, and this is in the color Cupcake, and the Spella matte liquid lip in the color Happy Hour. But before we get into testing them, I do want to say a little disclaimer, because if you are looking for super clean beauty products, these guys definitely don't have squeaky clean ingredients, but they are a lot better than other liquid lipsticks out there. For example, a main ingredient in both of these is isododecane, which is an emollient. Now, EWG only rates isododecane as a 1, which is really safe, but it is an ingredient that is derived from petroleum, so it depends how you feel about that. But all the ingredients in the clove+hallow were rated a 1 or 2 on EWG. Spella does have more ingredients, but I think that they were all rated a 1 except for one ingredient which was rated a 3. Now, EWG definitely doesn't have perfect information, so if you are very concerned about ingredients, maybe these aren't for you. But if you are looking for a liquid lipstick with safer ingredients, then let's test these out and see how they work. So I'm gonna do a first impression of each and then wear one of these today and one of these tomorrow to see how they hold up throughout the day. I'm gonna start with the clove+hallow, and this is kind of a brown color. The color is definitely slightly different than what I was expecting, but I was looking for kind of a nice brown shade for fall. And it's got the regular like doe foot applicator. So hopefully that's pretty even. This actually feels really nice going on. It does feel kind of velvety. They call it like a lip velvet. I can feel it drying. I think the color is nice. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I still think it is a really nice color and definitely something that I will wear. So I've given it a bit of time to dry and it does feel really nice. There is a little bit of like tackiness, which I don't know if that's gonna go away, but it feels really nice on the lips. It doesn't feel overly drying. It might feel way more drying later in the day. I'll have to see, but right now it feels really nice. The matte color is really beautiful. I think that it went on pretty well. I find these to be easier to use actually than a lipstick in terms of lining and getting the shape of the lips. It did feel a bit thick, but honestly, I haven't used a liquid lipstick in a very long time, so it's hard to compare it. The tackiness actually does go away as it dries because it already feels a bit better. So my first impression is that it feels really good on the lips so far. I'm curious to see how it's gonna hold up, but I think it looks nice and I don't know, I'm pretty impressed so far. So I just took the other one off and now I'm gonna try the Spella liquid lip. And this is in a dark red color. And this is also different than what I was expecting, but we will see how it looks. Yeah, like to me, it looks a bit more brown than plum, but maybe it changes a bit. So this one definitely took me longer to apply because the brush is a little bit fuzzier than the other one. And I find it harder to control the edges and get a really nice clean line. I do think the color is really nice. I was hoping for a bit more of a plummy purple color, but I still think this is really nice and it's definitely a color I'm gonna wear this autumn and winter. Now with this one in particular, I'm really curious to see how it's gonna hold up on the inside of the mouth because it is so dark. You can really see if it starts to come off on the inside of my lips. So we'll see how that holds up during the day. But it actually feels pretty nice. It doesn't really feel sticky or anything. It feels a little bit dry, but all liquid lipsticks of course feel dry compared to other lipsticks, but it feels comfortable. I think it looks nice. It is really matte. And yeah, so this is the one I'm going to test out today, and I will film periodic updates throughout the day of how it's going. And I'm gonna wear the other one tomorrow, and we will see how they hold up with eating and just living. So I just put this lipstick on and I am drinking some water. And it actually looks okay, like there's no lipstick on the bottle. Also, I don't know how this looks on camera, but to me it definitely feels more like a brownie red than a plummy red, which is what it was described as. Maybe my formula is different, but it is definitely not the color I was expecting. I do still like it though and will still wear it, but yeah, it's just different than what I thought it was gonna be. So you can tell that I'm not used to testing makeup because I realized that I totally forgot to do the like kiss test to see if anything transfers. So let's do that. Okay, so I don't know if you can see on my hand, but there's a very faint, tiny bit of stuff, but overall it's pretty good. So I've had it on for about an hour and a half, and honestly, it feels really comfortable. I was worried that my lips would feel super dry, but they don't. And it's not looking too bad. I mean, I'm definitely getting a little bit coming off on the inside of the lip, but I don't think it's too bad yet. So some of this lipstick definitely came off on the banana, not much at all, but there was a little bit. And this is why I think green beauty products are really important, because you are consuming them, especially if they're lip products. And so for me at least, I want to make sure that it's non-toxic and it isn't poisoning me. But yeah, I mean, it is something to think about, of course, and why it's always good to research your ingredients. So dinner really did a number on my lips. Okay guys, so we just got back from dinner, and as you can see, it really took off a ton of lipstick all around the inside. I was eating like some pretty greasy noodles, so this lipstick definitely doesn't hold up well with food. It's also smudging a little bit. Up until I ate, it was doing really well, but I don't know if there are any lipsticks that are completely food proof. So yeah, I mean, it looks really ridiculous now and I need to go do something about it, but I just wanted to show you that, yeah, this is what happened when I ate. I reapplied my lipstick after dinner, and I just finished a live stream where I was talking and drinking water for basically 2 hours, and the lipstick isn't too bad. It's not perfect, it's definitely coming off a bit on the inside, but considering how much I was talking, I definitely thought it was gonna take a hit. And any other lipstick that I've worn, I basically can't wear a dark lipstick if I'm talking for so long and drinking so much water, and I don't have a time to touch it up, of course, if I'm live. So I'm actually pretty happy overall as to how this went today, because it doesn't feel overly drying or uncomfortable, and it held up pretty well. I mean, I don't know how much you can expect a really dark lipstick like this to not kind of come off on the inside, but I mean, good morning guys, it is day 2 of testing out the liquid lipsticks, and today I'm gonna wear the Clove+Hallow lipstick. I don't know if it's the color or the formula or the brush, but for some reason I find this one a bit easier to apply than the Spella one. So I just finished eating lunch, and as you can see, it is coming off a little bit on the inside of my lips. It's not nearly as bad as the one yesterday, but to be fair, I was not eating greasy food, which I think plays a big role in the lipstick coming off. So I do need to touch it up a little bit, but considering I just ate a whole meal, I think this is pretty good. So I reapplied the lipstick after I ate lunch, and I've been wearing it for a few hours now. This is about the same time that I wore the other lipstick for, and I think it looks great. And it doesn't feel dry or uncomfortable at all. So I just noticed something really interesting. I was touching my lip and little bits were coming off. It kind of rolls off in little pieces. Now, obviously that's if you rub your lips, which of course is gonna come off a bit, but yeah, I just noticed that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's at least something to be aware of because it doesn't really seem to smudge off, but it does kind of flake off a bit. Okay guys, so I wore these two liquid lipsticks for the last couple days and I wore them for most of the day. Now going into this, I really didn't know what to expect, if these were gonna work well or not. And I'm actually pretty impressed with both of them, although I do think that each of them have some pros and cons. So first of all, even though these colors weren't exactly what I was expecting, I did end up liking both of them, and I'm definitely gonna wear both of them again going into the fall. So the Spello was the one I wore the first day, and this one did come off quite a bit along the inside of my mouth, and especially after I ate. But it is a very dark color, and I think it's pretty much impossible to have a lipstick that's this dark that doesn't come off a bit and you don't see it a bit more when it comes off. So although I did have some issues with it, overall I did think that it held up pretty well. With the clove+hallow, less of it came off, and if it did come off a bit, it was less noticeable. Although something interesting that I noticed with this one is that it was more likely to flake off a little bit after it had been on quite a while, especially if the lip was rubbed at all, which of course you shouldn't be doing with a lipstick, but yeah, it was just something I noticed with that. In terms of comfort, I actually found the clove+hallow to be a bit more comfortable to wear. This one was pretty comfortable, but it did feel a little bit dry, whereas the clove+hallow, I really didn't feel it at all. I definitely noticed the lines and kind of wrinkles on my lip a bit more with the clove+hallow, but I think that has more to do with the color because it is lighter. Of course, with both of these, I had to reapply them after I ate, but I think that that is a pretty typical thing. So even though I did enjoy wearing both of these, if I had to choose one to repurchase, I think I would go with the clove+hallow because it was a little bit easier to put on. I'm not exactly sure why, but I did find it easier to put on. And also just because of the comfort of it, I don't even notice that I'm wearing it really, whereas this one, it did feel a little bit dry. So that's why I would choose this one. They also have some really nice colors. They even have a blue, which I'm pretty interested in. But yeah, if I had to choose one of these, I would go with this one. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are interested in liquid lipsticks, I really hope that this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much to those of you supporting me on Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one.